Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and we are going to have fun with our paper because we're going to ink it, shape it, and have all kinds of fun with it to make beautiful 3D flowers. And there's no dies better than that than the ones that are designed by Susan Tierney-Cochburn through Spellbinders. This set is called Clematis Poet, and it comes with 7 dies. And then I also have the press and foil, the Poet's Garden Sentiments, which are absolutely gorgeous. So let's dig in and let's first grab our inks. I am going to be using my oxides, and I'm going to show you parts of all of this. So what I show is what I do for all of it. And when I do a project like this, I do it in a production style. So first, I'm using my Bristol cardstock. It can be vellum, it can be smooth. You just want something that's going to take a lot of water. I'm doing some ink smushing here, and I'm using shaded lilac and also villainous potion for the purples. And I'm starting with my lighter shade. Now, you could also watercolor your backgrounds if you want. I just like the splotchy look that they get and that they take on when it comes to doing it this way. By putting down the shaded lilac first, I'm going to get that base, and then the villainous potion is just going to mix and mingle with that color. Because remember, your oxides are water reactive. So when you add a second color with all of this water, they're going to mix. I did dry in between, or make sure the layers were dried in between, but not completely. When you let them dry in between, you will get more splotchy effect. So I did that for the flowers. They're going to have this purple blue hue. And then our leaves, I used shabby shutters and also forest moss. I believe they're the 2 colors. And these are what our panels look like. Now it's time to die cut. So each flower has 4 components, and then you have the leaves. Now, when I say the flower has 4 components, that means for the petals. And then there's 2 components to create the center of the clematis that we are making here. I am just die cutting, so I'm making sure that when I do die cut my pieces, I have enough. I want to do 5. Now, you can see I didn't use 5, but that's okay because I saved my extras. But I always do die cut more than what I need. Our next step is I want to add more colors to the leaves and to the petals. I want to make them deep and rich. So I'm coming in with, I forget what this is called. This is the Distressed Ink, and it's the new green color that the Distress line came out with. Yep, totally can't remember that color right off the top of my head. And I'm just putting it towards the base of these leaves and then lightly going over the top of the leaves. I don't want you to think that I'm covering up what I put down in the ink. That's giving me the base. For the petals, I'm coming in with Uncharted Mariner, and I'm going heavy-handed right in the center with my blending brush to each of these petals. So the center is going to be deeper. It's going to be that deep blue purple, and then the outer edge of the leaves are going to be that purple. So let's start constructing. So you have this one piece. It's a straight line with these little tabs coming off. You're going to use a fine set of scissors with a sharp point, and you're going to cut those in half. You're also going to do that to the 3 star-shaped centers that you cut, because you do need 3 of those. The clematis center is very full. Once it opens and it blooms, it's very, very full. So you do just need 1 of the strip, and 3 of these stars. And you're doing the same thing. With a very detailed oriented scissors, you're just going to cut those pieces in half. And I did, if you notice, slow down the video just a little bit through the construction part so that you can see what we're doing here to the petals. Once we have that cut, I'm going to grab my foam, and it's a piece of foam. Now, Susan used to have a kit that was available on Spellbinders. I did not see it, where she had her forming tools for flowers. You just need a stylus, like a medium, like a small, a medium, and a large stylus. And what I'm doing is I'm pushing down in the center of those stars, and they're cupping up. They're cupping up around. I'm now going to grab my reverse tweezers, and I'm going to put glue along the bottom edge. And because of the fine point, I'm able to just roll this up onto my tweezers. And I'm going to hold that there just a little bit and roll it between my fingers to make sure that the glue just adheres. Then just have fun fluffing it out. You can use your tweezers. I just like to use my fingers for this. My favorite glue when it comes to putting 3D flowers together is the Beacon's Kids Choice glue. I don't know what they did with this glue, but it is awesome. It's thick. It holds its shape. I can't describe it, but it is just absolutely wonderful. And I'm going to layer the stars and staggering those pieces. Now, we don't have to be as forceful as I was. You just want to put pressure down into the foam so that this starts to cup around itself. And then again, fluff. Just move those pieces around to get them to straggle out from each other. I'm going to put a big dollop of glue at the base of our first piece and put that right in the center. And that's going to be the center of our flower. Next is the flower petals themselves, and I do all of these the same. So I'm going to switch over to my stylus, actually, or my flower shaper. And you can also do this with a stylus, because again, I don't think the flower shaping kit, is available any longer. So you want your foam matte. And when you grab your stylus, you're going to put pressure on that. And what you're doing as you're doing this is you're breaking those fibers in the paper. What I do want to do first, though, is I just grabbed an alcohol marker that's close to the color, and I'm just wisping along the back, because these were die cut or created, ink smushed onto Bristol cardstock, which is like a white ivory color. I don't want that back to be seen. So when the flowers are layered and you could possibly see the underside, I'm just putting a hint of color down there. Nothing fancy. This enabled me to dust off an alcohol marker and just put that color in the back. You could ink smush the other side of the paper. You could use a spray. You could use your blending brush, whatever it is that you have. You can certainly use. I'm going to do that both to the petals of the flower and also the leaves, because the leaves are really going to shape up those leaves as well. And again, I'm only worried about the tips. You can see as I'm covering or coloring the leaves, I'm not going down to the very bottom. That's going to be tucked up underneath the flower. I don't believe there's any chance anyone's going to see that underside. Yeah. All right, so here we go. Let's start shaping. So here we have our center. I wanted to make sure that it was dry because now I'm really cupping it together and I'm really getting my fingers in there to just get them to flare out and to look fluffy. Yes, it's a technical term. So let's do our leaves first. And again, this is all going to be with a stylus, and we're using the medium point. So you can see I'm just rubbing up and down the length of the leaf. I'm not going across the leaf. And as I'm doing that, you can see that it's curling. I then flip them over and I take my stylus and I just push along the bottom just a little bit. And then I come in with my fine point reverse tweezers and bend the paper up around the tweezers. And that's how we're going to get that shape of the leaf. What's really nice with these dies is Spellbinders also included the details of the veins into these leaves. So as you ink blend or do whatever type of blending you want with these leaves, those veins are coming to life, which is really nice. And again, all you need is a stylus, and I do suggest the pointy, fine detail reverse tweezers. And you can see just when you do that, it just gives a different shape to that leaf. We're going to do the same thing with the petals. We're going to go to the back side and we're going along the grain of the petal and making sure we go along the side. The petal's actually going to wrinkle up, which is wonderful. Then once that's done, I just lightly go in the center to get that cup shape started. I don't go back out to the edge when I turn the flower over to the front. I stay in the center and go out maybe about 1/4 of an inch on each petal. And again, I'm not going across the petal. I'm going with the length of the petal. And you can see it just curls up and it gets wrinkly. And that's okay. That's what you want. That's what gives the flower the unique shape that it has naturally. So now we've done all of our shaping, again, with just a medium-sized ball stylus. I'm now going to take each of my layers and I just dip right into the glue. I like to have a lot of glue because once they're all together, I then take the stylus and I push down in the center. That glue comes up around each of those layers and helps to keep it shape when it's on your card. I have my card in front of me right now as I'm doing this voiceover, and it would take a lot to flatten these down. Now, is this a card that we can mail? Sure it is. I would suggest a box, or I would suggest a box, honestly. But this is the type of card that I would hand deliver as well. Yes, it will be more postage. I've pulled out my Better Press because we are just going to press 3 of the sentiments, and they are the quotes. And then I'll be able to choose which one I will want to use. I'm using my Better Press ink in black for each of the sentiments, and I am using the Spellbinders press paper for these 3 sentiments. I do like to go through once and then come back, and then you will see 3 beautiful sentiments that are just pressed into the paper. I just love this look. When it comes to these plates, always clean your plates once you are done. You do want to make sure that you remove the ink from each of those plates. And what's great with the Better Press plates, they are now press and foil. They've always been press and foil, but now they are titled press and foil, which means if you have a glimmer machine, you can also foil these sentiments as well, which is wonderful. Our card today is a 6x6 card. So I am cutting my black cardstock to be 6 3/4, or excuse me, 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and my center panel to be 5 5/8 by 5 5/8. We're going to get those layered so that we can get them onto our card panel, and we're going to start building our card very soon. We're going to get that set. And now we're going to pull in our pieces. The sentiment that I chose is by Marc Chagall. Art is the unceasing effort to compete with the beauty of flowers and never succeeding. Again, I always die cut or make more whenever I die cut, because I don't know how many I'm going to use. In this case, I did 5. Here, I'm only going to use 3. Just as we use the glue for the construction of the flowers, we're going to use it for their placement as well. And again, I just brush into that gold, and then once it's on the cardstock, I will just wiggle it just a little bit. Get this on? Okay. Just wiggle it just a little bit so that it sits onto the card panel. For me, the fun part is just grabbing these leaves and just having fun tucking them up underneath the flower. Again, just scooping up some of that glue and then getting all the leaves set in place. Some may say that, well, this is a lot of glue that you're using. It may look that way. It's really not, but I do like to have a lot of the glue on there. Probably do use more than normal, but once it's set, this is not going anywhere, and it's not going to flatten out anytime soon. So I hope you enjoyed this. I love making 3D flowers. I think they just add so much to any card for that someone special. The products I used will be listed down below if you wanted to check them out. She does have more flowers in the Poets collection that Susan has designed, so I do encourage you to check out all the wonderful other designs that she has. If you have any questions, make sure you leave those down below. And please, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, make sure you ring the bell so that you know when the next video is ready for you to watch. Enjoy your day and enjoy the process in creating. Just sit back and enjoy. Don't give up. Don't throw it away. Walk away from it and come back, see it with new eyes. Just enjoy the process. And most of all, always, be creative in everything you do every day. Continue to stay safe and healthy, and I will talk to you in the next video. Till then, take care.